Monkey D. Luffy, future king of the pirates, a current Yonko of the sea, and a massive bounty of 3 billion berries. And accompanied with this bounty is he's pretty strong. He's a strong ass dude. You know, this guy could probably win an Olympia or two, but this motherfucker's huge. How strong is Luffy exactly? I don't know. Today we're gonna find out. I'm gonna power scale Luffy to the best of my abilities to be as accurate as possible. How about that? I'm just gonna go straight to gear 4th. Not to hate on gear 3 or gear 2nd. Gear 2nd's kind of just like an amp to his base form, making him, yeah, stronger, but mostly just faster. And gear 3rd, if I was to rank it, it would probably just be as big as his fist can grow. When we first saw it, it could destroy a whole building because that's how big it grew. If he just kept blowing it up, whoa, that looks crazy. If he just keeps inflating his hand, like he does later on that we will talk about, Luffy could probably destroy a whole mountain or a whole city or whatever. So gear 3 is kind of like a question mark. But gear 4th, we have a range more or less of his power. Now, the first time we ever see gear 4th is against Luffy, Doflamingo, my boy. You know, the guy that goes, eh. You know, they're both really strong, but to really grasp Luffy's power is at the end of their fight. The final blows that they give to each other.
What do you mean by that?
In that final clash, Luffy and Doffy go all out. Doffy throws his 16 holy bullets at Luffy and Luffy hits him with a King Kong gun. They struggle for a little bit, but Luffy gives it his all. Luffy's massive fist breaks through all of Doffy's strings, clears that shit out, hits him right in the fucking face, in his body or whatever, because his fist is huge, and just crashes through down to the ground. And in this clip, as you can see on screen, it destroys a good portion of the city or town that they were fighting in. So if I was to rank Luffy off of his strongest attack and his strongest form, it's small city level. You know, that makes sense. That's an accurate representation of Luffy. So we have a baseline. His strongest peak at this point in the series is small city level. And technically this is his physically strongest form, because that's what Bounce Man is. It's not about speed, it's about strength. It's about fucking hitting you like a Mack truck and just evaporizing your enemy. Now we jump over to gear 5th. And gear 5th is strong as hell. But in order to really get a feel for what gear 5th Luffy's strength is really like, we need to get a scale on Kaido. Kaido shows up and he blows a mountain up in his dragon form. Basically, Kaido is a mountain level character in his full dragon form. Right there, we could just say that. Boom, he's done it. He then fights Luffy. Luffy in his gear 4th bounce man, going all out, gets one shot by Kaido. So I think it's safe to say that Kaido is just way stronger than Luffy. I guess you could even say that Kaido is large mountain level, which it's kind of it's a sizable jump from mountain to large mountain. Even though it's like the next tier right after it, it's a pretty sizable jump. He's able to destroy Luffy one shot. So, and not even in his dragon form, in his base form, he just mocked him. Hit that motherfucker with a grand slam. Poof, the prime Derek Jeter in that bitch. Like, what the hell? Luffy, of course, trains in the prison, gets stronger, unlocks gear 5th. And now we have gear 5th Luffy versus Kaido. And Kaido also powers up. He gets his hybrid form, which is arguably his strongest form. And Luffy in gear 5th can basically do what he did before him in gear 4th, except a lot better, and he has more abilities. Of course, his Delphi is awakened now, so he could turn shit to rubber. He could grab lightning and throw lightning. That's an insane AP, aka attack potency. He can just throw lightning. That's insanely overpowered. On top of this, he can grow huge. He can legitimately turn into a giant. So that can make him like punch out mountains probably. Being as big as a mountain, you could probably go through a mountain. Now, him and Kaido were having an insane fight, going back and forth, toe to toe. They were just clashing until, you know, the final blow again.
What do you mean by that?
And this time, Luffy kind of just copy and pasted what he did with Doffy, but he makes his fist even bigger. He made his fist huge. And although he was able to take Kaido out with this move, I mean, Kaido was in his dragon form, which is like his middle
Hey yo, what the fuck?
form. If he was in his hybrid form, he probably would have been able to take it better. But the fist was so big that I don't think any form of Kaido would have been able to take that. His fist was so big to the point where he was telling Momo to move Onigashima out the way so he could just stomp Kaido. Basically saying, if Onigashima was in the range of the fist, he would have punched through the fist.
This guy is a fucking genius, eh?
Or he would have punched through Onigashima. And Onigashima was a pretty sizable island. So, small island level to start off with Luffy. Now, Kaido is also compared to Whitebeard in the sense that they say Whitebeard can destroy the Earth or the One Piece world with his Quake fruit. They say that Kaido could do the same. But I think that's just more of them yapping, comparing him to Whitebeard in terms of strength, not in terms of AP, because while Kaido does have his blast breath, I don't think one blast breath just shot out or whatever to the Earth is going to be able to destroy the whole Earth in one shot like one of Kaido's insane earthquakes. It just isn't going to happen. Now, where would I rank Luffy's giant fist?
Oh, great heavens!
Where would I rank his strength, his peak? In terms of AP, it's gotta be island level. Has to be. Just the fact his fist, with some prep time, I will add, with some prep time, was able to grow that big, and he was able to just Kaido was weakened, but he was basically able to just stomp Kaido. I think if you give, at the same time, Luffy is on a time limit, so you can't really count on him with prep time. So Luffy, with the time that he's got, I think island level's a good place to put Luffy at. Especially as he was threatening to basically destroy Onigashima with one hit. Yeah, Luffy, island level. That's where I would scale him. I hope y'all enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if y'all think I'm wrong. Leave your comments down below. Where would you scale Luffy? Where would you scale him in his gear 5th, 4th, wherever you want? I don't care. Just comment down below. I read all your comments. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.